Hey there, I hope you're having an amazing day today. All right, I had somebody ask me to do more videos in regards to Jesus and what really happened back then, because let's be honest, nobody knows the truth. There are glimpses of things coming out now, finally, which, yay, thank God. But what has been programmed and conditioned into people is not accurate at all. And if you're, well, listen, I'm going to do a warning label right off the bat. If you're one of those people, and there's no judgment here, but if you are literally one of those people that take the Bible as if it is like some living, breathing guide from God, and you are not able or capable to come outside of that paradigm, to come outside of that programming and conditioning, and maybe open yourself up to other perspectives and other things, this is not the video for you. You need to click off. Please do not hit me up in the comments and tell me I need to repent and that I'm this and I'm that, because I don't care. I'm telling you up front, this is not the video for you, and that's okay. And I'm not angry at you. And I just do not want to hear your backlash. Keep it to yourself. If that's what you believe, I honor and respect you for that. I am not trying to push my beliefs onto anyone. My motto is you do you, boo. You find your own truth. This is my truth. This is my channel. If you don't like what I'm saying or you disagree, I'm okay with that. I totally am okay with that. I'm not here to change your mind. You either change or you don't. I don't care. You either stay stuck in one area or you move out of it. I really don't care. It's up to you. I'm going to love you either way, but please don't project your garbage onto me. Just don't. If you're going to be negative, go somewhere else. All right? Anyway, moving on. So bear with me in this video because I am going to be jumping timelines, and I am also going to be in different realities, different dimensions at the same time. I'm going to go into esoteric, the energy, the astral, ethereal realms, and I'm going to come back into the physical realm. Okay? Because there is no separation between those dimensions. You're not separate from your spirit. You're not separate from your emotions. You're not separate from your higher mind, your subconscious mind. You're not separate from God. You've just been led to believe that you are, and you have this illusion that you can't see spirit, or you can't see angels, or you can't see trolls, or you can't see gnomes, or you can't see this, or you can't do that, la 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 la. Why? Because this planet has been programmed and conditioned to believe that it is nothing. It is beholden to another, to a system, to a way, to a this, to a that. So bear with me because I don't exist in this singular point. I am existing in multiple points at the same time. That's why sometimes it's difficult for me to get messages out, because I am literally looking at and feeling hundreds of thousands of millions of data points. And I'm going to try to keep this one as clear and concise, as I can. I'm going to tell you a story, an experience that no one, at least not that I'm aware of, has ever told. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about an experience I had last night. I'm actually going to start there because I think that might segue into more of the Jesus stuff. So let me go there first. So last night I'm in bed and I'm going deep into my dream state, which in your dream state, you are the little baby in the womb, It's kind of like the movie The Matrix with all the little babies in the pods and the machines are sucking energy off of them. That's what called loosh, by the way. And it's powering this big system. And this big system is energetic. Okay. It's energetic, and it literally is the system that runs this physical reality. It is ran by what you call what's been called a demiurge, that Mary Magdalene talked about in her teachings, a fake god, an individual who claims that they are God and the only way and the gatekeeper to God. But in essence, they're God over you. And yes, that's exactly what is happening to you. Your dream state has been hacked. And you can say, no, that's not true. That's not, it doesn't. Listen, there are people that want to hurt you in this physical reality. Fair enough? Okay. There are people, there are energies that want to hurt you and maintain control over you, over your thoughts, over your feelings, and over your life in the energy realm. Just because you don't see them or sense them or feel them or know they're there doesn't mean that they don't exist. Okay? So let's not play that game. They do exist. And if you don't recognize them as that, then guess what? If you look at a pedophile that has raped children, you say, that's a pedophile. Then you call that energy out for what it is, and it dissipates that energy because you're speaking truth. But you have to see the truth. The exact same thing in this realm, in this energetic realm. Once you start accessing these dimensions and these realms, and you start seeing these energies and these entities for what they are, then you start gaining back your power from them. You start waking up from the dream. You're literally in the dream, in the physical reality, which means you can move the particles, which means you can manipulate the physical reality. Okay? But these energies do not want you to wake up from the dream because they need you to stay asleep so that they can siphon your abilities, your inventions, your creativity, your gifts, and then they can make, they're profitable here in the physical reality, and they can maintain their lifestyle. And they also want to be in power. It's a power, which gets me into what I was going through last night, which is the Illuminati or the Coven. Coven, this is a group of individuals, they're witches and warlocks, who have used psychic abilities, used psychics, have reproduced psychics and intuitive individuals to use as weapons against the people, to control the masses. The Illuminati, interesting enough, and I did a little bit of research, the Illuminati was formed officially on May 1st, 1776 in Bavaria, modern day Germany. That's key. United States was founded July 4th, 1776. Wow, a couple months later, imagine that. Then, way fast forward, you have Hitler coming into power in Germany around 1933-35. Okay? Same place that the Illuminati was founded, hundreds of years, which would have given them enough time to build their base. And Hitler used psychics. It's no secret. He used psychics to help him win these battles because they used the power of the all-seeing eye. Right? That was in 1933. 1935, the all-seeing eye with the triangle. Let me see if I have a dollar bill. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so I don't have a dollar bill on me, but I am going to flip the camera because I want you to understand this, because this happened in 1935 under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, also a progressive, by the way, a progressive who was part of a community of individuals who wanted to dominate and control. So let me flip this around. See this? Boop. The all-seeing eye. So as you can see, the all-seeing eye is in a smaller pyramid, which is separate from the rest of the pyramid, because the all-seeing eye is the psychic eye that sees in multiple dimensions, in multiple realms. And only a few individuals understand this, also known as the Illuminati. And they use that power to control the money, which controls the people, which keeps them in debt, which keeps them beholden to the system, which keeps them working, which keeps them slaving, which keeps them in survival mode. This is why it was put on the dollar bill, almost to laugh in your face a little bit, that, hey, we're in control of you. Okay. Which is why for me, my website, g/t/e/e.com, I am flipping that paradigm because I am tired of these energies, these entities, of controlling everybody else and controlling all of the system. So fast forward, here we are, last night, I am in my dream state, creating my life, looking at things, looking at my future, and working on exiting this quote, quote, system, this matrix, right? Unplugging myself from it. And the Illuminati comes up. And I'm in this experience, and it's kind of like the experience you and I are having right now. It was real. I could see faces. I could hear their voice. I remember the time frame. And I'm looking around, and I'm really young. I'm probably 9, somewhere around there. And maybe younger. And there's all these people around me. And I don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it. But, and this is in the physical. This is actually the person you see here, Rebecca. This was little me during this time frame. And this was, I think, one of my first times dealing with this coven, with the Illuminati. What were they doing to me? Well, last night, they were blasting me with energy, putting me in fear, worry, instability, shaky, getting me to not go further and trying to stop me. And it took a lot of willpower, actually my willpower, because they were trying to take my willpower, to sit there in that pain and then understand what was happening and when was this moment happening. One of the faces that was very clear to me, very clear, was Oprah Winfrey. And then it started to click. That makes sense. During that time, when I was that age, something very traumatic happened to me. I was raped by my mother's brother. My mother, in her pearls of wisdom, decided it made sense, because we went to visit my family, my grandfather and my mother's brother. I was about 9. I was 9. And in my mother's pearls of wisdom, she thought it was a good idea for me and my sisters to sleep in the same room, in the same bed, with a 20-year-old man. Yeah. So not only was I raped, when I did finally tell my parents and we came back to the state where we lived, because we were in a different state, My parents told me, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Well, first they gaslit me. That didn't really happen. And then my sister admitted, yeah, that happened and it happened to me too. They gaslit me. And then they said, well, we can't do anything about it because it's in a different state. And then years later, my mother decided that my uncle had redeemed himself and now he is, she's friends with him. We'll just leave it at that. And then they threw me in therapy. They threw me in therapy and didn't help me. The people that were supposed to protect me, were supposed to watch over me, were supposed to ensure my safety. And then when they did find out about something, do something about it. No, they didn't. That destroyed my life. That destroyed my life because here the family that I'm with is like my enemy. And why? I'm just a kid. Anyway, I remember in therapy, it was weird. It was weird because the lady wasn't actually trying to solve anything or help me. I don't think she knew how. Because if you don't live through trauma like that, rape trauma, you can't help that person. You can't help get them out of that mental trap because they're so fragmented. The irony is during that time was the same time Oprah was rising into power with her show. What I realized is that I became, I became kind of this group knew who I was before I came into this simulation. They had already targeted me from the beginning, and many others of you, by the way. I'm just remembering these things. And this was one particular instance where they created these things in my life, worked with my mother to do these things, to help keep me locked in this stasis of trauma and fear so that they could siphon abilities, powers, and gifts from me. And Oprah is the ringleader. Actually, it's her and another guy. I wasn't able to see the man because he was dark. It was dark, but they're both dark. Dark as in color. Energy-wise, it's more evil than dark because I don't see dark as good or bad. It's the energy. But it makes sense because Oprah had that school in Africa where those children disappeared, which they were taken to one of the many islands. Well, I'll tell you what happened to them. They were tortured. They were raped over and over and over and over again. Their energy was siphoned because that's how these people, these evil energies stay young, is they siphon these energies off and they steal their innocence from these little girls, and then they were murdered. And Oprah was the ringleader. She did that. She also, this is all out there. This is not me just telling you this. Some of this stuff is out there. She's also been connected with Jeffrey Epstein because she is the main character. She is the power player. What else did I see? Oh, and the spiritualists that she has promoted, John of God. John of God is an entity, an individual who stole abilities from someone else, was given some power, not his own. He stole it, and then he used that power to manipulate and control women and rape them. See the pattern here? Rape the women, rape the children, rape the little girls, steal their energy, steal their power, steal their gifts. Same with the Bachram guy. She supported these people because she knew, because she's the ringleader. You want to know who the Black Widow is of the Illuminati? There you go. There you go. That woman is evil. The only reason why she worked with Eckhart Tolle is to balance, because she realized that if she didn't bring Eckhart Tolle or another individual in really quickly, that was on the quote, quote, good side, that she was going to be ousted, called out. Do you realize that Oprah has never been held accountable? No one's ever looked into her. The feds, CIA, the government, police, no one. Why? Why? Because she is an integral part of that Illuminati. She is the ringleader with another male. I don't know who he is yet. Not yet. But I'm calling it for what it is. Because when you shine the light of truth, which is what I did last night in the energy realm, when I figured out what was going on, I put a whole bunch of energy, because I am bigger than this physical form. I tap into my greater self, and then we blast these things with a whole bunch of light, a whole bunch of truth energy, and we force things to come out into the public. Because this woman and many others are wearing masks that they took from these little girls, these empaths, and then they wear these masks to pretend that they're good and they have your best interest, and they're doing it all for the sake of helping you and love and spirituality, or whatever it may be. Manipulation using love. To me, that is the core wound in this whole entire system, this whole entire planet, is love being used by a narcissistic energy, which is the demiurge, and these other energies, the demonic energies that are following the demon, the real demon, the real devil, they're demons, to control and manipulate. Which now gets me into Jesus. I'm going to tell you the truth about Jesus. Jesus, well, first off, why did Jesus disappear for, 8, 9 years or whatever it was? Where did he go? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Why? Why is it such a big secret? Because Jesus was learning from different masters, from different, I don't want to say religions. It's not religions, teachings. Because Jesus was a regurgitator. Jesus was a mass manipulator, a narcissist. If you've ever dealt with a true narcissist who wears a mask and they regurgitate things, it's not from a place of truth and knowing. It's from a place of taking from one source to another. And listen, I've said this in many other videos, and I get trashed, which is funny because there are other people talking about this stuff and they're not getting trashed. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. That's like a sidebar. So that's what Jesus was doing. Jesus was working with the Illuminati, the higher energy. I want to say the Illuminati because the Illuminati came out later. He was working with, well, actually, let me back up. Jesus was a physical vessel, like me. This is a physical form. The energy that is me, that has lived many different lives here, is much greater. And she has many different names. Same thing with Jesus. Jesus was a vessel where the energy of the demiurge was working through. Jesus is the demiurge. Jesus' energy is the false god. He's a fake, he's a phony, he's a copycat, he's a mass manipulator, he's a hypnotist, he's a liar. That's the truth. Let's look at it. Let's look at the teachings. Love thy neighbor. Okay, what if your neighbor is molesting your children? Are you still going to love them? You going to be at peace with that? You're just going to stand there and love them? That's what Jesus wants you to believe. Love even the worst of the worst, because what you do for them is you give them a pass then, because you're not recognizing and accepting the truth and doing anything about it. Or you must go through him in order to get to God, because he is the only Son of God. That's it. There is no other. Otherwise, you have no access to God. You are unworthy. You're a piece of crap, and you're a sinner. The other things is Jesus taught outside of himself. Go outside of yourself. Jesus didn't teach anyone to do the things that he could do if he was doing miracles, supposedly. How many other individuals during that time could do those miracles? None. Jesus was the singular person, the singular leader who wanted everyone to follow him, because he was a narcissist, a classic narcissist. It was all about him. And Mary Magdalene, which was his wife, who also had his child, wrote all about it in the Gnostic text. She explained all of it, and her role was to try to help him get out of that mentality, get out of that creation that he was creating, which was this massive system of control where he is God. Mary Magdalene believed that God is, she's a Gnostic, I'm a Gnostic, God is just an energy, it's within you. Jesus was the opposite. No, I'm your God, you follow me, you do my will, I'm your only Savior. Mary Magdalene was the opposite. Jesus was a spellcaster. He used love as a weapon. And he siphoned energy and gifts and knowledge off of her, because she is and understood the truth about God. That's why she was suppressed, oppressed. Her teachings were called blasphemous. They were hidden, they were burned, as well as the people that believed in them. They were killed. And everyone was forced to believe in the Bible, which has no mention of any female perspective whatsoever. And Mary Magdalene was labeled a slut and a whore. And she needed to be saved by good old Jesus, because she was unworthy and filthy. And here we are today. 1 out of 5 women are raped in the United States, but 3 out of 4 women don't ever report their rapes. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 out of 5 women are raped. Just here in the US. It's worse around the globe. Women have been beat down, suppressed, oppressed. Our voice is not heard. This is literally, or has been, a masculine dominated world that wants to control and manipulate and use the feminine and all her power, all her abilities, all her gifts, all her inventions, because she is the true creator. You want to call her a god? Yeah. She understands that I am God. I am God. I don't need to look outside of myself. There isn't anybody that's going to fully understand me but me. I'm not going to give my energy out to all of these entities that are not worthy of my energy. I'm going to give that to me. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to pour all of that love into me, into my life, into my intentions, into my creations. Because once she started focusing solely on Jesus, she just gave him all her power. And he took it. Absolutely. And once she started to realize this, that he was not going to change, that he was not going to do what he was supposed to do, which they're twin flames. They reincarnated into these bodies during that time to heal the wound. The wound started back in the days of Egypt, actually, as a virus kicked into the system. And they came into these, Mary Magdalene and Jesus came into their energies, came into those forms so that they could learn, settle their differences, and come together in unity. That did not happen. Mary Magdalene started to realize that. And in the Last Supper, you see the divide. Because she was moving away from him because he was not going to change. He didn't want to change. He wants the power. He wants you. He wants to remain God. He also wants you to remain believing that God is outside of you. And that you have to worship something outside of you. Or you have to go to him. And Mary Magdalene's like, that's not the truth. It's not the truth at all. And she realized that. And then he lost his life brutally. And if you believe in karma, which karma is what you give out, you get back. Doesn't happen instantly, not yet. Happens over time, many, many lifetimes in some cases. But if you truly believe in that concept, then Jesus got his karma. Jesus got his karma. He got what he deserved. He was manipulating and controlling and dominating and harming others' free will. He violated universal law. And instead of changing, let me back up. After Jesus died, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb to make sure he was dead because her thought process was, is if he dies in the physical, because the physical is where these cycles ends, where these patterns end, or they're supposed to. And she was hoping and praying that it was done, like he was never coming back. Like this way of existing, of being a slave to another entity who wants to dominate and control you and play God, was over. Empath, narcissist. I've talked about this for years. That's the dynamic. And when he arose, it was not pretty because it scared the shit out of her. Because now she realized, now he's pissed because he knows. He knows that I know, and Jesus was gone. Mary Magdalene was gone. She was rushed out of there, her and her daughter, and they took them to Europe, and they were protected, and the bloodline was protected. Mary Magdalene is the bloodline, the royal bloodline. She is the Holy Grail. Let me repeat that. Watch the movie, what's it called? I can't remember. Sophia is the Holy Grail. It's not Jesus. It's Mary Magdalene. You want to control the narrative? You want to control the story? You want to control the population? Flip it around. Flip it around. Make him the savior, make him a martyr, make him the poor victim, and the master teacher, and the master healer, and then the one with the true power, who is the true understanding of the truth, diminish that. But the people in the Illuminati, they know that. They know this. It's how they maintain power and control over you. So anyway, back to the story. Jesus is gone. He's fucking pissed. He's pissed because now he realizes what was just done in that particular life, and he goes into hiding. Fast forward, and Mary Magdalene goes on to living her life and raising her daughter and trying to stay alive. Fast forward to this time frame, the one you're in right now. The energy that was in Jesus and Mary reincarnate into new bodies, because this time we're gonna fix this. This time, narcissist, we're gonna strip you of your power, because you're not God over me. You're not gonna play God over me. You're not gonna trick me. I'm not going to believe your lies. You're not going to gaslight me. Your spells and your witchcraft and your negative energy and all the shit that you've done to me, your hexes and your curses and your all that crap, not going to work anymore. I'm not playing this game with you anymore. I'm not living in this system. I'm not living in a world or a system or a dream that you've built where you're God over me. And you're going to put me in this little box, in this little pod, and you're going to continue to siphon gifts and energy and things off of me while leaving me to fend for myself, go into survival mode, deal with the wounds of the traumas that you put in me while you go out and live your best life? And continue to do the nasty, shitty things that you do, predator? Like preying on other women? Manipulating them? Using your illusionary tactics? Your spells? On others? And finally, the paradigm is shifting. Which is what I've been doing for years, preparing for this, to flip this paradigm. And I'm going to flip the camera around. This is my website, Flipping the Paradigm, where instead of the all-seeing eye being at the top and only a select few can use it and control the rest of the population, I am going to teach people how to reclaim this. And so that the people that are on the bottom, we're going to rise. It's not that we're going to rise. We are just going to take back our power and our control. Because gone are the days of these individuals taking our gifts, taking our abilities, taking everything from us, profiting from it, and then leaving us to fend for ourselves. Gone are those days. A lot of people are feeling the energy. A lot of people are feeling the shift. This has been in the works for years. And the entity that embodied that energy that was also in Jesus, which was also in multiple other lives, instead of coming together yet again in unity and working together and saying, okay, we're going to, and these are the twin flames. Okay, we're going to strip each other from this egoic and this toxic energy. We're going to work together and we're going to help humanity heal and be better. Instead of doing that, he failed again. He failed again. Therefore, the energy, because listen, this is a vessel. The energy can be shifted and changed and pulled out at any time. It's called possession. And I have seen people, for a fact, 100%, that their energy, their soul, their spirit, whatever you want to call it, is either ripped out of them and a new one is dumped in. Or they are stripped from all of the abilities, everything that they had, that they stole, is stripped from them. And that's exactly what happened to this entity, this person. He's a human in a human body, and he lost everything. He lost all of his abilities. Why? Because number one, he stole them. And number two, he was using them to manipulate and control people. He's playing God. That's against universal law. And I came here for justice. I came here to tell you the truth, to show you the truth, to wake you the fuck up. That God energy is within you. The minute you start working outside of yourself for somebody else to save you and help you and do anything for you is the minute you give away your power. And love was the root weapon, using love as a way to manipulate and control people. Because love, they say, is blind. Yeah, when you are put under a love spell, you don't see the things in that person. You don't see the negativity. And you start making excuses for them. And you start to lie for them. That's what Mary Magdalene did till the end. That's what I did until the end. And now that entity is gone. That person's gone. But the energy was moved into a different avatar. This is an avatar. This particular avatar is actually a hypnotist. Look at that. Very similar. It's interesting because he's doing the exact same things. He's hypnotizing people to get what he wants. He is overriding their free will, especially women, to get sex from them, which is rape. So anyway, he's using that to empower himself. And once he gains control of their minds, he is forever connected to them, and he continues to siphon. Hey, look at that. Just like the movie The Matrix, where the machine, the little babies, which are people, are being siphoned off of. Not only is that happening in the energy realm, on the big picture, now it's happening in the physical. There are a ton of men out there. And you go look, go do your research, who are becoming hypnotists and are teaching people how to hypnotize each other. Once you do that, you're basically opening the door and saying, hey, predator, come on into my thoughts, come on into my energy. They actually go into the depths of you, your dream state, into the subconscious, into your little baby dreamer, attached to you in the physical, and steal from you, and creating a big giant web of illusion with the mask of, hey, I'm going to make you money. Hey, look at all these nice, amazing cars you could have in this big house. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these hot women I have around me. Because that's how I am. That's how he is. He's surface level. Because he's fake. He's a fake. He's a phony. He's a fraud. He's a trickster. And the one person who is the truth, who is the way, who's all about freedom, who's all about knowledge for all. Hey, do it yourself. Hey, God's within you. Mary Magdalene, Sophia, myself. There are others out there as well. And it's no surprise that Mary Magdalene, Sophia, that energy is the devil. She's the demonic devil energy that is going to ruin your life. She's going to make things terrible for you because she's setting you free. Because she is the light bearer. She is the way. She'll show you the way. Show you the way so that you can walk the pathway. So that you can do the work. So that when you gain that, it's yours and nobody can take it from you. I'm not your savior. You are your savior. Don't worship me, worship you. Don't pray to me, pray to you. Don't pray to God, pray to you. All that love, that should be going to you, pour into you. And that's why the feminine is the devil. She's the devil in the Bible. She's the devil now. Why? Because she exposed the truth. Mary Magdalene was painted as the devil, the feminine as the devil, because she exposed the truth. She wrote the truth, and nobody fucking believed her. And in this life, that's going to change. And it's already changing. It's all over the place. Now that the Gnostic texts have come out, Now people are starting to question. Now people are starting to ask questions. Now people are starting to seek the truth and seek answers. Because the story that you've been spoon-fed, that you believe, what if it's a lie? What if it's not real? What if it's only part of the story? Then what? Now, to bring it all in, because I'm 45 minutes in, even though I know who this entity is, this entity that embodies the demiurge, fake God energy, doesn't mean that I want to see the same thing happen to him that happened to Jesus. Because we came here, I came here, yes, to flip the paradigm, to tell the truth, but to wake him up. To wake him up out of his own delusion. To wake him up out of his own lies and manipulation. To get him to see the damage that he's done to the feminine. Because if he doesn't wake up, since he is one of the two creators, here on earth, it takes a man and a woman to procreate, to create life. Otherwise, there's no life. There's no humans. You don't exist. Now, on an esoteric level, are you just particles and technically you don't really exist and this is a simulation and it is a hologram? Yes, all of that is true. But you have to accept the other side, that this is real as well. Both are true. The physical reality exists and the non-physical reality exists. Ghost exists and physical things exist. It's not one or the other, it's both. You can't exist in one realm and not the other. I mean, you can if you want to lock yourself into that, but understand what I'm saying. You cannot tell a victim like myself that, oh, that didn't happen. Get over it. Move on. Nobody cares. That doesn't change the experience. This is what these gaslighters do. Oh, it's just a hologram. Let it go. Okay, well, here. How about if I transfer this pain, all these emotions, the physical, the energy. Why don't I transfer all of it to you? You experience it, and then you let me know if it's real or not. Wait, you don't want that? Oh, okay. Don't gaslight me. You did what you did. Predator, fake God, pretending to be God. You did what you did. You attacked the feminine. You attacked her on purpose so that you could siphon and steal all of her gifts and energy, and so that you could pretend that you were the savior and that you were the God and that she was a nothing. You did what you did. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. And you will be forced to wake up in this life, because the feminine is dissolving all of that energy. She is clearing out the subconscious to the point where there's nothing there. You don't have any power over me. You have no control over me. There's nothing there. I've healed all of it. And thanks, by the way, for dumping all of that onto me and then me having to heal all of it. That's pretty shitty of you, but whatever. I don't care. I don't need you. I don't need you, masculine. Especially if you are not going to add value to my life. Which is why the divine feminine is choosing a soulmate instead of a twin flame. Is that a step down? It's someone that's going to love her, see her, accept her, and build with her. And is going to show the world the truth. World's already waking up. And like I've told you for years on my channel, they're going to come together. They're going to unify. They're going to change the world. They're going to show the world how a real divine masculine and feminine operate, how they work together. And those two power beings, those two power lights, flames, they're powerful on their own. But when they come together, they're literally a massive flame that's going to attract a whole bunch of like individuals. Then you'll have a ripple effect. Then you have your new earth. So there you go. That was the longest video I've ever done. If you stuck with me on this one, man, I love you. Man, thank you. If nobody's told you today how awesome you are, let me be the first and the last, forever. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for listening and opening yourself up to truth. It might be my truth. It may not resonate with you, and that's okay. Where it might be at different levels, that's okay. But thank you for at least listening. And I hope that you have the best day and the best life. All right. I've talked enough. Bye.